Well, it probably comes no surprise to you that a jet engine does not work in space, because it relies on ramming air through fast enough to sort of pull its way along and push its way along by shoving the air out the back in the right direction. In fact, it sort of causes a vacuum in front of it, which pulls the aircraft forward by the pressure of the air behind, in a sense, and also by the pushing of the air against the air behind us and launching us forward. It doesn't work in space. Vacuum. So too the reason works very well here in this world of time, space, change, even uncertainty. It deals in aggregates and overall. There seems to be minor exceptions going on all the time, but basically there's a structure we can rely on. It's structured, it's created, you see. Heaven is not like that. Heaven is, it's not of time and space and matter and construction and structure, even of logic and reason. It's fine in the classroom here because it's a set-up job. But in heaven there is, if you like, you could say that there's an astonishing freedom. It is a freedom of being, a state. It's timeless. God, if you like, is outside of time, and so are you. You're a child of God. In your reality, that is the reality of the you that you are. Not the school uniform you're wearing here in the classroom of time, space and matter. Do you see something of what I'm alluding to, referring to? Oh. So, what's the importance of this? Well, to know the limits of reason and understanding. They're most appropriate in this environment that we call this reality, this dream. But not in the infinite, permanent, ongoing reality of heaven. Even the words ongoing don't quite make sense, except in a time context. But we can only think and reason in the context in which we're in at the minute. So it's very hard to say. So there's a fundamental, foundational necessity of trust for us to reach out to the blessings of heaven, if you like, despite being here on earth in the classroom. For heaven is far greater, far, far greater than being that you're experiencing, so to speak, here. This is, as it were, a childhood compared to the dynamic or dynamism, infinity of complexity of difference of being that heaven is. In a sense, you can only say what heaven is not. It's not the same as being here. Oh, so at last, I follow that. Thank goodness for that. I've seen so much bad here that I thought, I'd like a relief from it. Yes, good. That's what was hoped to be the case, so that you would come to love me. And in doing so, take on the values that, in a sense, are necessary for heaven, for you to have the fullness of the experience eternally of blessedness. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. So we find, dear one, we have compassion for all the life about us in the world here. They're kids, like us at school. We might be in a older year, we might be in a younger one. We may have experienced every year of being in a school. But it's finite, it comes to an end, thank goodness. And then there's life eternal, adult life. We will see him as he is. Our Heavenly Dad and all the host of heaven. And it'll be party time. Celebration. And you can wear whatever coat you like. I think I'll wear my golden looking tunic that I bought from Bangalore when I was there with my wife and daughter, buying clothes for daughter. And I thought I'd like that sort of tunic. Can you make me one? Oh yes, certainly. Business people are always very willing to make you something at a price. It was a very good price from his point of view. It was a very good price from my point of view. Very cheap in terms of New Zealand currency. I knew it was blessing him. And he probably didn't really realise, but he was blessing me too. And I've still got the tunic, and I've worn it once or twice. The first time I wore it was to my friend's wedding. I was the master of ceremonies, so I wore my wedding suit, which was my golden Hindu, you would have said, bridegroom's tunic. They didn't know that, they just thought it was colourful and interesting. That's Marshall, he's always doing something unusual. It's a terrific wedding. I wore it again when we were supposed to wear something that was in keeping for an Indian celebration of something that Ananda was having. Organisation called Ananda. Joy, that means. And I wore it then. I really delighted in wearing it then because it was right that I should wear it then, really. I felt that. Are they the only two occasions you've worn it, Marshall? I think so. I think I'll wear it again in heaven. Children, you know, they have childish hopes and expectations. That's all right. He understands. It's because we're kids. And he loves us because we're kids. Do you realise that? He doesn't love you in spite of your faults. He loves you as you are. He made you as you are. And he knows where it's going. To the fullness of life eternal. Yours. By his loving kindness. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.